So this is an instructional video to talk you through the use of the frailty screening tools and the Delirium screening tools, which are very soon going to be integrated onto Patientrack. We've got on the computer here a scenario from a test patient we can do with you. It can also be done on your iPads. So when a new patient comes into the hospital, as normal we'll do a frailty screening tool. That's your 1 to 7 frailty questions which are currently integrated within the clerking document, but that's going to come onto Patientrack. Within the tasks section, alongside your nutritional screening, your must screening and everything like that, when you click into this you will find a frailty screening tool. This should get done on the day of admission. When you come into this screening tool, you'll have your same 7 questions that are within the paperwork, and depending on your answer to that will depend on what actions will follow. If you answer yes to any of the 7 frailty screening tools, that will indicate that we need to be looking at getting a comprehensive geriatric assessment done through the frailty screening pathways that are already in place with the integrated assessment team. The 4AT tool is also going to be getting moved on to Patientrack. When you do your initial frailty screening, if you answer yes to any questions around cognition or falls, it will automatically bring up to complete a 4AT. This is the same 4AT that you'll find currently within the patient's notes. It's scored out of 12, and anybody with a score of 4 or above is high likelihood of delirium, and we should be flagging that up to the medical teams for review and starting a time bundle, which can be found out about in a previous video. If the initial 4AT is 4 or above, you'll be asked to repeat the 4AT score every day until this is either patient is discharged or below 4. If on your initial frailty screening tool there's no indication for a 4AT to be completed, then every day you'll be asked to complete the SQID assessment, which is the single question for identification of delirium, which we've got up here. This asks, is the patient more confused, agitated, or more sleepy or drowsy than before? If the answer to that question is yes, then that will automatically take you through to completing the 4AT score. If the 4AT score is above 4, you'll be asked to inform the medical team, because it indicates a high likelihood of delirium, and to instigate a time bundle, which can be found out within an alternative video. If the answer to the SQID question is no, then this should just get repeated on the next day and should be repeated on every day of admission for all adult inpatients. Both the SQID tool or the 4AT tool, depending on what the initial 4AT is, should be completed every day. Within it, when you enter, it will tell you when it's last completed, so you know when you've next to do it. And if it's overdue, much like your must tools and other screening that's already integrated into Patientrack, it will alert you to let you know that this is overdue and should be completed. If somebody has a 4AT of 4 or above, that will trigger an alert saying 4AT plus, which will show up in the pre-alert section on Patientrack, much like other alerts that can be popped on for patients. That's to give us an overall idea of just how many patients within the hospital have delirium at any one time, which is really valuable information that we can use to help make patient improvements.